how many of you believe in this statement if I say rituals are as important as your idea, if not more? Can you just have hands up? So how many of you don't believe in this statement? Everybody believes that rituals are important?
I think we have a very ambivalent audience.
No, how many of you believe? Few hands up. And how many of you don't believe and then no hands up? So is that everybody
safe?
Not even much thought to it.
Okay. How many of you look at rituals as a good thing or a bad thing? How many of you look at rituals as bad? Okay. So just 2, 3. Any more? All right. How many of you think? Sorry.
I think it all depends on the kind of rituals which we are following.
Right. So how many of you think rituals are good for startups? Or bad for startups? You think it's bad for startups? You think it's bad for startups? Okay. This is what I'm trying to say, that it's very important that startups should develop rituals. I've always had rituals in the way I did. Like now I'm trying to build rituals at a personal level. So I never had personal rituals. So now I have started building quite a few personal rituals. But in a startup I always had at various points of time. And many of you are familiar with rituals in a startup at a joining time, right? Everybody, when you hire someone new, you want to make sure that you meet that person. You know, you're the founder, you want to meet that person, you want to talk to them. It depends at how much of time you want to spend, but you always want to do that. How many of you do that when you hire a new employee? Everybody does this, right? And in fact, many large companies actually do follow that. You know, you have that buddy system and so many of those things. They are all rituals. See, it's very important that we get to that, but very quickly, let's just go through transactions. You know what? I'll have a quick story here. 10 years ago, I used to run a analytics firm, and I used to be mostly traveling. Whenever I'm in Bangalore, one ritual was that I always get to my office before 7:45 in the morning. So, as long as I had an office, before 7:45, I would be in the office if I'm in Bangalore. So that was part of my ritual. And second ritual was, in transactions, every check that comes in, those days it was all check. Right? So every check that comes in, before we put it to the bank, it was a standard instruction that you take a copy, put it in a file. Sounds very foreign to many of you, right? You actually get a check and you take a copy, put it in a file. Part of our ritual. It never made sense to any of us in the office that why are we doing it. One of the days I was in Bangalore and I was in office, and as usual not many come into the office because I always wanted to be in the office before anybody else comes. Whenever I'm in the office. It's my office. So even before my partner comes, I used to be in the office. And I had to send my office assistant to some work out. I called him and said, why don't you go and finish this off? So he came up to my room and gave me a photocopy and said, I've taken the copy of the check. It had to be filed with somebody and she is not yet coming to office. So I'll leave it here because I'll be late, and I've deposited the check already. I said, okay, that's good. And I look at the check, and the check was from one of our clients. And the check is in the name of my partner, not in the name of our company. So rituals can actually help you even break the company. Right? However good or bad it may be. But it happens. And it was a good reason to have rituals. So transactions also, it's very important. You find your ritual. Right? So do we already have rituals? Some of you may not believe that you don't like rituals, but you may actually have rituals. Right? Some of these things, right? This is how we do things here. That's actually, you already have ritual. If you can say that, you already have. If you say, I always wanted to do that, and that's why I'm doing it, then you have ritual. And if you say, that's how I always wanted to do, or we did, you may say you don't believe in rituals, but you already have rituals. And this is what's got me this far, so that is why I'm going to do this. You have rituals. So, at one side I'm saying it's good to have rituals, at another side I'm saying that why are these kind of things can be bad? Because when you get stuck to some of these things, it's bad. See, rituals also have to be there, it's good to have, but you need to be able to change it in the course, otherwise you get stuck. Oh, sorry, I switched it off. Yeah. So, you know what this dance is called?
Haka?
Yeah, Haka. So, this is a very interesting thing, but incidentally, you know, what a ritual should do, right, is this. Energizing, engaging, exciting, empowering. When I look at a Haka dance, I really recommend you guys go Google, if you're not still in, look at it. This is what the New Zealand teams do. Initially it was done only by this rugby team, but today you will find a New Zealand basketball team also does it. Yeah, you look at it, you just Google it, you will find a lot of New Zealand, different teams do that. It's like a war dance. There is some tribe in New Zealand, I forget the name. So that's how they borrowed it from them, and it's really energizing, engaging, exciting, empowering, and I added empowering there because I think that's what will ritual should do in a startup. So you pick what is it, and how do you go about doing it? Where do I begin? So this is where you can begin, right? You first have to ask yourself, where are you? Because you can't have rituals started with it's not some set of rules like this is all you follow all your life. It doesn't work like that. It has to be changing. So I just picked up something from in last discussion. So one more round, I think probably my rituals will also change, and it should. If I don't, then I don't progress. And likewise for the startup, you got to figure out where you stand, what is your current context, and figure out what can help you, and get to that. So if you ask these questions, right, then it becomes a lot easy. And what's your biggest challenge? In fact, you've got to identify your challenge, and rituals is the best way to tackle your challenge. You have doubts about it? Think about it, we can chat up later. But yeah, and rest of the things about culture, I mean, what makes a culture is primarily ritual. Right? I mean, the tradition. I mean, I just wanted to even say the Fiddler on the Roof song about tradition. So, and if you want to leave a legacy. And what's holding you back? That's another question. If you ask, you'll be able to figure out what is it that you need to be addressing, and then you start working on that. If you can figure out what are the things you want to build as a ritual. Lastly, quick tips. You could just ask these questions, just 3 questions, and it can help you figure out what are the rituals that you want to have. And it's not very complex. What's good for your organization, what's good for your customers, and what's good for your employees. Because you can't do something which your employees hate, then you just can't do it. And primarily it has to be necessary. It's not a nice to have, it should be really necessary. And ideally, you've got to be having it or doing this exercise. Sometimes magic happens. I don't know what is plugged in suddenly. So you have to be doing it once in a while. So you got to decide how fast your whole system is changing and try to bring it in. So do we have any questions here? Yeah, please.
Do you believe there is a difference between rituals and protocols in terms of flexibility and
Well,
or
actually,
is it the same thing when you say rituals?
no, I think it qualifies. Protocols are again context and situation bound. In fact, I would put rituals in a startup in a protocol sense because it has to be context and situation bound. It cannot be forever. So, if you say protocol, it actually fits into that.
Protocols are mostly connected with power and authority. Rituals are very personal and to people and organizations.
Very helpful. Thank you. Yeah.
How do you differentiate discipline from ritual?
How do you differentiate?
Discipline from ritual.
Well, I think discipline is an evolution of ritual. You get to be disciplined once you get that ritual. You bring in ritual to get that discipline. And it's fundamentally necessary, right? You want to build an organization, you need to be disciplined. And you want to be disciplined, you start building some rituals, so that gets you disciplined. See, we come from different backgrounds, and if you're working with different people, we always have to find a balance, right, with them. So that is where you bring in some rituals where you take few steps forward or backward, and they take few steps forward. So backward, you just get an alignment. No questions?